Okay, Turtles fans, here we are. It is a great month for Turtles. Last time we checked out the Sketch Turtles. Now we have the latest from NECA in their Last Ronin line. Very excited about these two. We picked them up. We shared that short with you just a couple weeks ago. They weren't even officially revealed at that point. We showed you that we picked them up on Walmart in their special little entertainment section that is near the where they're keeping their DVDs and Blu-rays. And within 2 hours of posting that short, NECA officially announced both of these figures. Not saying that the two are related, but there's a strong correlation there. So now that these are officially announced, very cool, very excited about them. We've seen these two for a while now. We saw them at STCC 2023. They were on display at the NECA booth. You could check out our NECA booth video. We also saw them at New York Toy Fair last year. You could check out that video as well. But they had not officially revealed them until just the other week. So now we know that they're here. We knew they were coming, but now we know they're available, and they were first available at Walmart. So you can pick them up in that section. It's going to be Donatello from the scene with Splinter, where they were fighting off the foot, and they're sort of last of all Donatello. I don't know if that's how we want to call that. And then we have Michelangelo in that scene with Leonardo and Casey Jones in that final battle with the Footbots. Just before he escaped, he has his pre-Last Ronin look to him. So very exciting. It finishes up that mural. We get a little shot at the Fugitoid in April in the background there on the mural. At the end of this video, I'm going to show you the full mural that we have up to now. There are no further announced figures at this point. The only other character we know that is coming for sure is Fugitoid, and that is called the Fugitoid Accessory Pack. So we have no idea what that looks like. We don't know if it's going to be in a numbered box that's part of the mural, or if it's going to be in a special box like we saw with the Syndra Patrol Bot reinforcement pack. So who knows? Maybe we'll find out more at Comic-Con this year. We'll ask that question, see if we get an answer, or we'll see if there's a more refined version of the Fugitoid. We've seen parts of it before. It wasn't clear if that was 3D printed or if that was the final version. We'll try to find out. But for now, this is all we know that is out in the line. It completes the mural up until now, so we'll check that out. Let's just hop in and check out these great figures. Okay, I'm going to start with Donatello. He's our number 5 here, as you can see on the mural. We knew about him for a while. We knew he was missing for a while, so it's great to see him. And you can see that picture here with the arrows going over his head. And he has that look with that little, I don't know what that's called, that little hat he was wearing in the robes. He was one of the more dressed up ones in his final scenes there with Splinter. So we're really glad to see him finally here. And of course, he's going to have that open up flap with the look here, and you can see the figure. Very excited. I just want to check this guy out. We're not going to waste time on this. And here we go. So now we have our Donatello. You can see there's some hands here. You can see he has his little hat, an alternative head, and that little flag that comes with it. And there should be a bow. Yep, there's his bow. So looking really sharp. Excited about this guy. Finally getting him. Don't know what the delay was in this one, because he was revealed so long ago, but we just never got an official announcement until just recently. So you can see the bow here. It's got a little red ribbon on the top of it. A little bit of extra decoration there. Our man is kind of encased here in these little straps. Let's see if I get them all. There's one on each of the ankles. There's one on each of the wrists. There is one on the shoulder, left and right. This one I'm afraid of scratching the armor if I do it, so I'm going to grab it from behind. So there we go. And we should be able to, oh, there goes his hands. We should be able to get him out of here. So I can see immediately he has some sort of karate chopping hands, or if you do the Tom Cruise running style, that's pretty much what those are for. We'll see what the figure looks like here in just a second. See if we got any hidden little things holding him in place. Nope, we do not. We'll just set them off to the side here for a second. So, looks amazing. I mean, look at this. He's got the robes on there. He's got this extra long sash. I don't know if this is supposed to simulate a headband, but his headband is kind of independent, as you can see here. So, maybe when he has the helmet on, it's supposed to mimic the headband dripping down the side. You can see the holster here for the bow in the back. You can see this little arm guard here, this little wooden armor that's on the side here, and he's got the wraps on the front too. So those little leather armor bits, and then he's got that ring in the back on his little toga here. I mean, just a lot of different details on here, and of course those the comic shading lines that really make the character pop as well. So always love to see that, and that's what I love about this style of the figure, these extra comic contours on there that the cell shading really makes it pop. So he should have that articulation that is similar in all the turtles. That double elbow really gets that bend on the arm there, and then he should have that in the leg as well. Yep, you can see that in the knees, the double knees there, and they're hidden well with the clothing here on this one. He's got nice range of articulation on the hips and the thighs, and then the feet. And then the midsection is not going to move at all. It's just going to turn side to side. What's the surprise that does, that it's all not one piece here. A little extra articulation there, and he has a tough looking face with those white eyes on there, if you can see them. And that is essentially a look at our Donatello. Let's check out his little hat that comes with him here. And there's no sort of way to unbuckle it, so you're just going to have to slide it on top. I'm not sure if I like the frowny face more or the gritted teeth, so we'll try changing the head. We're going to end up doing that anyway, so we'll switch it over to the we'll call it the gritty face. It's just his angry eyes. I just like that expression a little more like he's immersed in combat with this head than the other one. You could see it just with the little grin there. So I think you're just going to do a twist and a pull, and that came off really smooth, if you saw that. Really smooth. Let's see if it gets on as smooth. I feel like it is. Yep. Wow, that was a really smooth transition for that head. I want to switch the hands here. So currently we have the weapon holding hands, or I'm sorry, we have he has fists on him, and I think what we want to do is switch to some weapon holding hands instead. So we're going to drop these back in. And I love keeping the box on this because it holds everything really succinctly. It's easier than trying to put it in a bag or something like that. So these are more like tiger palm hands, or a little bit open. I think what we want are these hands here. And you can see they're a little bit more closed, so they give you a little bit better of a grip. So I always say a twist and a pull on the hands here. If you try to pull them out straight, you might get them to tear, and then you're out a set of hands. So just be very careful whenever you're removing hands from NECA figures, particularly the movie figures. I find those to be the most fragile. So now I have my hand switched out. Let's put this little pan head on the hat. I think the chin strap goes toward the front, so you just kind of slink it on the back like this, and then you get it on the head like that, and look how sharp that looks. He looks really good with that helmet on there. I really like how that turned out. And then you could have his bow in his hands here, and then the flag, I don't know exactly where that goes. Let's check that out right now. I do recall it from this scene, so let's see how they kind of mean for you to display it. I don't know if it clips onto his back. I guess you could put it into his little robe there, so he's kind of wearing it like this. Kind of has that like samurai battlefield look, which I kind of like. It's a sharp little look for him. The bow slides in nice and easy. That was a really easy way to get that bow in there. And then I think what you're going to want to do, I'm worried about getting that. So I think the best way to do this might be to slide the bow in through this one first, if you want to take a right hand pose, and let it drip into the other one here, or slide into the other one, and just kind of like maneuver the grips around until you got it just how you want it. I think that is the best way to get that. So this is how I'm going to leave my guy kitted out here with his equipment, with his switched up hands, and his switched up head. I'm going to take away the smirk head and put that back into space with the other one. So like I said, now I got all my parts out that I want. The rest of them I have encased here in the packaging, so I can just switch it around whenever I need to. And I have my sharp looking Donatello ready to join Splinter. I don't know if I want this, maybe this way it looks a little cooler. It's kind of centered on him. I like it being symmetrical. So that is our look at this really awesome Donatello that kind of completes the scene with Splinter there in that battle scene. We just need some of those human Foot Clan members now to sort of round it out. But very cool looking. You could probably enhance it a little bit more with some of the extra arrows that came with the First to Fall Raphael. If you want some buzzing by him, just a thought. So yeah, looking pretty sharp there. I love the design on this. I love the layering and the clothing. These figures just look so unique and just so great with this cell shading and this different look in the Roninverse. So let's hop on over and check out Mikey next. Okay, on to our party dude, our Mr. Ronin, essentially. Excited about this one. I love Mikey's look in it. It was pretty sharp. Again, another clothed turtle here. You can see how he's number 11. Going to complete our mural. I think this is as far as we go at this point. You can see more fire. You got April and Fugitoid in the back there. Again, I'm kind of bummed they didn't keep all the fire mural turtles together and they kind of split it up, and I'll show you why I'm saying that and how that looks at the end. Would have been nice to just have a sequence of fire there. And then you see him on the front with that little panel shot. And then over here, that artwork, and then of the figure. Again, I wish these were magnetic, but we're just making do with what we got. So let's get him out of this box and check him out. Eager to get Mikey and round out that scene. So here we go. We have our turtle. You can see him encased in here. Not a whole lot of accessories on it. He's just going to have the same hands that everyone else has. The karate chopping hands, the weapon holding hands, and the weird technique hands, we'll call them. Then he's going to have his nunchaku. Looks like we got a chain here this time around. And then he has an alternative head. So we'll try to free Mikey here from this. While we're freeing Mikey, let's check out the nunchaku. I kind of like the way that these are displayed, where he has them on his vest this time instead of the holsters in the back. It's just a little bit fun. It's a little change in the dynamic to him. Now I remember reading the Lost Years, and they portray Mikey as a lot softer than he appears in the Last Ronin. Of course, he's more hardened over the years. I'm talking about in this scene, he seemed a little tougher, I thought, in this version than he did in the other book. But maybe that's just the way I interpreted it or read it. Maybe he wasn't, but he seemed a little less decisive than his brothers, a little less eager to kill, kind of like the Batman of this universe. But here we go. We have our Mikey, and wow, he came out awesome. I mean, absolutely amazing. Look at this guy. He's got cloth everywhere. He's got pants on. He's got the wraps on the arms. He's got this vest on the front, on the sides. He's got this little armor, leather armor. He's got it continuing onto the back. It looks like he's fully kitted out here with all these pouches. He's got a hood. It's non-functional, but he still has the hood. And he has this tough look on his face. Again, he's going to have the same articulation as Donatello. I don't imagine that is going to change at all. I do like how he's got an elbow pad on this side, but none on this side. So you just a little more torn here than everyone else. Like his clothes are been through a battle. You can see tears on the clothing. That's kind of fun. And then you have he's got a little less pronounced of a smirk than everyone else. So I'll leave that out. The other head, though, you can see sort of a frown on here. And then we have, I'll take it out. Here we go. Let's see if his head is as smooth as Donatello's was to change out. This one has just a slight smirk on it. It's not as intense as Donatello's. So I'll try doing my little twist and pull. It's weird, the body's kind of soft here. You see that? I can push it in. Not as tough on the shell or I don't know if it's the shell part or the back part, but it's got a little give to it. So we have a little tougher look for him. So you could, like, again, I said, you could always put the head back in here and get it to go away for now, if that's what you want to do. Just recommend making sure that the headband goes through that hole there, and that way it doesn't end up crushing the headband over time. You want to be as careful as possible with those. So we have all the other hands in here. I'm going to grab some weapon holding hands. Like I said, he does have those karate chop hands that we always see packaged with the turtles. And he has these sort of weird technique hands here. But his weapon holding hands, which I kind of default to, are at the bottom on each side. And you can see them right here. And these are going to be specially attuned for him to hold the nunchaku. So he has the one right here. And then we're going to switch out the other side. And he's standing pretty well here. I'm not having to struggle too much with him. As opposed to sometimes I have these issues with the turtles. And then we have his other hand here. And we get that out and switched over. Everything has been running pretty smooth on these guys. So pretty well built. I'm going to say the hand test has passed successfully. And we have his nunchaku here. So I'm going to put one in the right hand just to see how nice this looks. I mean, look at the scale on this. It's a little tinier than we're used to seeing, but it still works. I do want to see what this looks like in the vest here. So you can see there's little notched grooves at the top. I'll show you what I mean in a moment, but we'll just get that, slide that in there. There we go. And you can see what it looks like in his vest. So that's how it will fit in there, and you could slide it in more if you want. I'm just going to leave it a little exposed at the top. But there's sort of, I don't know if you could see this, but there's little bumps to perfectly fit it in there. Each side is sort of has those little carved out semicircles in order to perfectly fit the nunchaku in there. So it looks pretty nice. I mean, they engineered that very well. It's definitely custom to fit. It's not a whole lot more to do with this. I mean, you could do two-hand with the nunchaku because he has that great range of motion here where he could cross his arms over his body. So if you wanted to, you could turn it, bring your arm across, and then put the nunchaku over here, like if you were doing a sort of a choke move or a block, something along the lines of this. And you could play around with those hands a little bit. You see they got some more give in there to get that sort of look. So a lot you could do there, but it's just Mikey, just the two nunchaku, and then this really, really, really awesome garb he has on there. And again, those sketch lines, and you can even see the spots on his head. So really nice detail on this. Absolutely love this line, and I'm loving what they're doing with it. And it's great to get this character finally in there. So we have all the core brothers and Splinter from the pre-Ronin time in the flashback sequences. So it's perfect. We're just missing April now. We even have Casey, so we're just missing April. So we'll see what happens with the next touch of characters. But that is Michelangelo from the Last Ronin series, pre-Ronin days. Now, why don't we switch over and check out the mural? All right, before we do that mural, I wanted to give you a really nice, close, detailed shot of these two awesome figures. You can really appreciate them a little bit more from this angle and see all that great detailing on Mikey here with his little vest, holding the nunchaku, and then all that awesome detail on his costume all the way around. Absolutely loved how this guy turned out. I mean, he's got all the right colors, all the right looks on him, just perfect. And Donatello, with his little garb here, with his hat, with his eyes, with his bow, with this little flag in the back. I mean, it really brings the whole figure together and really pulls in that look. And I think it's just awesome, 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 awesome. They did an amazing job with these two figures, and just looking forward to the future of this line. All right, as promised, here is our completed mural from number 1, which was the Last Ronin, all the way to number 11. So it's really filled out here. You can see all the different artwork. What bothers me again is you got like these 3 panels over here that have the fire on them, and then we have just this one here. I wish it was over here to complete that look and keep it a little bit more lateral in the storytelling, because we had first of all Raphael here. So we had the Last Ronin who opened up, Last Ronin who almost committed seppuku, and then we have first of all Raphael, and then the Leonardo and Mikey story, or Leonardo Casey story, is here, and it's separated because Donatello and Splinter should be in the middle. Karai should be over here with Raphael. It's just kind of all over the place. So in the end, it works, and we have our mural looking really sharp all together. Now, it does look like there's a number 12 panel. On the corner, I could see 2 different things. One, I could see what clearly looks like a turtle hand over here on the Mikey box, and you could see that in the close-up earlier in this video. And he's grasping some kind of either weapon or club with a blue beam or fluid look to it, and then you could see down here blue wrapping on an arm, which looks like Leonardo. We already got a Leonardo figure, but there was another one. There was Leonardo with a leather jacket or something, so it'd be kind of lame if they did that one. He was only in 1 panel. The other thing it could be is one of the ghost turtles, and that scene where they're having tea or whatever with Michelangelo and in his imagination. So that's possible. Or it could be a ruse, like you see on the panel at Karai. You see Raphael in the foreground. So maybe it's a turtle in the foreground and they're working on Fugitoid. I don't know. We don't know what number 12 is going to be. We haven't heard any information yet on that, but it This clearly looks like a turtle hand up here. I see 3 green fingers grasping something, and then I see blue band on something else, which could be Leonardo. So that's the only clue we have to go off at this point. We'll see it makes sense. Everything lines up perfectly. So they knew all the way up to this panel, and the next panel at least, what this was all going to look like in order to make it work. And it's weird because we got Footbot long before we got Michelangelo or Donatello or some of these other ones. So now that we have them all together, it looks really cool to see them all lined up like this. And we know at least there's going to be a 12 to finish out this mural, which would make sense. So yeah, who knows how many there will be in the numbered line and how big this mural will get, but it's cool. So this is what you're looking at so far. You need at least this much space to encapsulate this. This is a good almost 3 feet at this point. I want to say it's a little more than 2.5. So it takes up quite a shelf. So that wraps your look at these 2 great figures. And again, that was the Donatello, last of all Donatello, and Michelangelo in his pre-Ronin time. So we have these great figures that are on shelves now. We confirmed it. We found them in Walmart. That's how we got them. I have not seen them online yet, although there are listings on Target.com. I have not seen them available for shipping yet, but they are on shelves at Walmart if you go find that entertainment section. Also there were those great Ghostbusters items, which I will be doing a review on next week, so tune back for that. So that concludes your look at NECA Last Ronin figures for this foreseeable future. We'll find out at Comic-Con if they have any plans to release any more this year. I certainly hope so. We did get the confirmation via the checklist last year that a Fugitoid accessory set is coming out, so we know at some point to expect that. So that is all for this time. Like, subscribe, and follow. We'll see you guys next time.